Hi, I'm Peg Fitzpatrick, and I am here to share a book with you. Back in the day, quite a few years ago, I used to do a book club, and I used to do it as a monthly Twitter chat, and I've also done books reviews for my book club here on my YouTube channel, but I haven't done one for a while. So I thought that I would break out my book club and share something really special with you guys that I found on a recent trip to New York City. The interesting thing about this is that I had actually been following along on Instagram for this person, but there's a kind of unique story about it. My book is Iris Apfel's Accidental, it's Musings of a Geriatric Starlet, which is such a cute name. She is amazing. She is from New York City, as I mentioned, and I follow her on Instagram, but as I learned in the book, it's not actually her. She's in her 80s, so she's not an Instagrammer, but also it's not even managed by her people. I kind of thought maybe it was like her team of people, but it's actually just this other person who manages it. So if you follow her Instagram account or her Facebook account, they're actually really have nothing to do with her, and other people might take it down, but she actually doesn't mind, and the person that's on there shares really great stuff, but honestly they probably don't even have legal permission to share any of it. But so back to our story. So this book, I love this book. I love Iris. If you're not familiar with who she is, she's just amazing. She had this fantastic career with her husband Carl. They traveled around the world. She worked in the textile industry, and they actually had this really awesome company where they did like reproductions of historic fabrics, and they worked on every White House redo from starting with Eisenhower all the way through. They have worked with, I think it was like, I don't know how many administrations it was, it's a lot. There's also a really cool documentary about Iris where you can learn more about this stuff too. But the book I absolutely love, and it's a coffee table book. If you see, it's like a pretty big thick book, and it has a great cover on it, and it actually has this other that has a little dust cover that comes off that's a very high quality one. So you can have it like this, or you can have it with a little cover on it to have it just out. Mine, I totally scored a signed copy because she had this special exhibit at Bergdorf, which was how I was lucky enough to go find it. I knew that she was there because I saw the stories on Instagram that she was at Bergdorf. She had this special book party, and it was a book party, but also a collection on the whole third floor of Bergdorf, which is humongous. She did all the windows. She designed all the windows with their creative director, and they were all things that she's curated and they're selling. So in the collection, you can go buy all these cool things. Everything in her collection had special tags on it, and they had, the book launch was just the night before. So if you follow me on Instagram, I was like obsessed with trying to get into the Tiffany's restaurant. They have a new Tiffany's restaurant, and I got a reservation there, and it looks right over onto Central Park, the Plaza, and Bergdorf. So I was like, hey, can we just go over there? So my husband was nice enough to go over there with me. It was such a cool exhibit, and I love this book so much. If you're interested in like becoming someone who's a unique personality, Iris is definitely the model, and she will tell you like to be bold, to be yourself. One of her quotes that she says all the time is more and less is a bore. And I think she's got such a great message, because here's someone who so late in her life, she really is a starlet. Like, she is famous for being herself. She was picked up. The reason that she started getting famous was because she was friends with somebody who was a curator at the Met Gala. If you've never been to the Met Gala to see their costume exhibits, it's amazing, like phenomenal. I love going there. They have the huge Met Gala every year, the big party, and then it opens up their big collection that always has a theme, and it's all costumes. One year they were putting together an exhibit, and it canceled at the last minute. So they contacted Iris to see if they could create a collection from things that she has. She, as I mentioned, she has traveled the world, and she's collected huge amounts of designer clothes, accessories, jewelry. She's not as much into shoes, and she does have purses. She's like really into necklaces, bracelets, rings, all of that. It's just her unique style. And she's actually like a high-low fashion person, which I love, because she partners things together, not necessarily based on the fact that it's designer, but she just pulls all the pieces together, and she just wears layers and layers of awesomeness. So they pulled together this exhibit. They thought they might have a few things. They did a whole collection from it at the Metropolitan Art Museum, which is amazing. And it just made her like a word of mouth overnight star, because people were like, loved this collection. They went to go see it. Now she's been there before, and she's done the windows at Bergdorf's before. So if you're in New York City, I'm not sure how long it's all going on there, but it was just last month. So it's only been a few weeks since I've been there. But back to the book. I love the book because it talks about just unique stories of her life and just inspiration for being like the best person you can be without worrying about like other people. It's all like, most people would look at what she wears and think that's like over the top, too much. She's known for her huge glasses. She's got huge sunglasses, huge rhinestone glasses, just regular glasses. She's just really cool. And I love her unique perspective and just being herself and not worrying what people think about it, and being the best version of herself all the time. So I highly recommend you to check out this book. I think it's going to be sold everywhere. It was initially, I think it's probably, I'll share a link to where you can get it, but it was just at Bergdorf's on the opening. And if you're in the city, you can run by, and maybe they still have signed copies. I can't guarantee that because I don't know how many she actually signed. I really did luck on that. But if you're looking for a fun book, it's a great cocktail table book. It's a really interesting read. I highly recommend you just check Iris out as like an inspiration for, like I said, being your best self. And I'm Peg Fitzpatrick. I always encourage you to be your best self. Reading is a great way to learn and to grow. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little installation of book club. I'll share some links below to my past book club interviews. Those were interviews that I did on video, and they were pretty popular. People liked them. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm Peg Fitzpatrick, and I will see you again soon. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll catch my notifications for future uploads.